Hey everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. And it is time once again for our weekly check into some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you. Just the highlights though, because the list, as always, is way too big to get into. If you'd like to see the full list though, please head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com and search for new releases. Or check in the description below, we'll put a link directly to this week's new releases. Wrapping up the month of March though, there's just a couple of new releases, but a lot of compilations, live stuff, and reissues on the way for Friday, March 31st, 2023. On that new release front is something brand new from Nickelback. This one is called Get Rollin', and it's on clear and orange vinyl. Our description says it is a limited, transparent orange-colored vinyl pressing of Get Rollin', the 10th studio album by the iconic rock band Nickelback, and their first new work in 5 years. So this transparent orange edition of Get Rollin', new stuff by Nickelback, will list for about $25. And the other new one expected this week is called Portals, and this is by Melanie Martinez. Our description says, with over 12 billion global streams, 4 billion official YouTube views, and more than 53 million followers across the social media platforms, Melanie Martinez is back with her hugely anticipated new album called Portals. This marks the 27-year-old New York City-born singer-songwriter and filmmaker's first full-length album release in nearly 4 years. So Portals by Melanie Martinez, new stuff, is coming on clear, pink swirl vinyl and will list for about $25. On the reissue front for March 31st, we've got a lot of Britney Spears, and I mean a lot. A total of 8 of her studio albums being reissued all on the same day, and then one greatest hit. This, of course, starts with her debut album from 1998, Baby One More Time. I should mention, though, that all of these reissues are being done on black vinyl. So Baby One More Time coming in at a list price of about $26. And then it's going to continue on through the next 7 studio albums with Oops, I Did It Again. That one originally released in 2000, also listing for $26. In fact, all of these look like they're listing for $26 except the greatest hits. So then following that up, we've got the self-titled Britney, her 3rd studio album, followed by In the Zone, Blackout, Circus, Femme Fatale, and Britney Jean. Again, all of those 8 reissues from Britney Spears on black vinyl, and each listing for about $26. And then to round this big batch of Britney out, Greatest Hits, My Prerogative. This is her first Greatest Hits album being served up on black vinyl, and it includes 3 new tracks, one of which is a cover of Bobby Brown's My Prerogative, one called Do Something, and another called I've Just Begun Having My Fun. The Greatest Hits, My Prerogative, a double LP, Greatest Hits compilation with new stuff by Britney Spears, on black vinyl, listing for about $36. Now, as I've said before, when you've got this many albums attempting to come out on one day from one artist, it's going to be lucky if they all make it out in time, given the way things have been going lately for the vinyl industry. But we'll keep our fingers crossed, and for you Britney fans, this could be a big, big release day. On to the other reissues, though, for March 31st. Here's a great one from the Rolling Stones. It's Aftermath. Originally released in 1966, this album represented a milestone for the Rolling Stones because it was the first to consist solely of Mick Jagger and Keith Richards' written original songs. The US version of this, of course, was fleshed out with hit single classics like Paint It Black and Under My Thumb. So this black vinyl 180-gram reissue of Aftermath by the Rolling Stones, listing for about $30. Here's a 50th anniversary edition of Michael Nesmith's solo album, pretty much your standard raunch stash. Limited, as we said, 180-gram gray vinyl. This one coming in a little bit heavy, listing for about $42. Changing genres up just a little bit, here's a Cleopatra reissue of Ghost Town by the Specials. This one coming on white and black splatter vinyl. They've reissued this a couple times before with different colored variants, so this is a new pressing of that one from the Specials. This one listing for about $32. Up next is one from White Lion. It's called Fight to Survive. Our description says that this limited splatter-colored vinyl edition is what should have been White Lion's 1985 major label debut album, and it's finally now getting the release it so richly deserves. So White Lion on white, black, and red splatter vinyl, Fight to Survive, listing for about $33. Up next is one from Music on Vinyl. Personally very excited to see this because it's never been on vinyl before, and this is Tripping Daisy and Bill. A description goes on to say that Tripping Daisy is a neo-psychedelic pop rock band formed in Dallas by lead singer Tim DeLauder in 1990. Bill was their debut album, originally released in 1993, and as I mentioned, this is the first time on vinyl for this. So Bill by Tripping Daisy on 180-gram black vinyl from Music on Vinyl, listing a little on the heavy side at $42. Here's one from MF Doom. This is Operation Doomsday. Originally released in 1999, Operation Doomsday marked MF Doom's official debut, reintroducing a mysterious figure who would soon become one of the underground rap scene's greatest voices. So this reissue of Operation Doomsday by MF Doom, listing for about $35. A pair of reissues from the American experimental rock band Tomahawk, starting off with their self-titled debut, originally released in 2001, called Tomahawk. Our description says that this was recorded after a meeting between vocalist Mike Patton and guitarist Dwayne Dennison. The album features members of Faith No More, the Jesus Lizard, Helmet, and the Melvins. So Tomahawk, the self-titled, two different variations, a black vinyl version listing for about $25, and an indie-exclusive brown vinyl version, that one also listing for $25. Then we've got the reissue of Oddfellows, also by Tomahawk. It's the fourth studio album by the musical supergroup. The black vinyl version listing for about $25. There's also an indie-exclusive purple vinyl version of Oddfellows. That one also listing for $25. Next up is a 10th anniversary edition of Blue Slide Park by Mac Miller. Our description says that this is a double transparent splattered colored vinyl with a die-cut gatefold jacket. This release also includes Blue Slide Park's US tour poster. So Mac Miller Blue Slide Park 10th anniversary on colored vinyl, listing for about $36. And then finally on the reissue front, we've got this one called Reflections from Jerry Garcia. It is a brand new 2023 pressing on pink vinyl. The album was originally released in early 1976 and features a diverse mix of roots-oriented styles with contributions from Garcia's two primary vehicles of musical expression, the Grateful Dead and the Jerry Garcia Band. So Reflections on pink vinyl by Jerry Garcia, listing for $24. And that's going to segue directly into the live selections for the week of the 31st. With a Jerry Garcia Live, Volume 14, January 27th, 1986, performed at the Ritz. This one coming on red vinyl. It is a double LP, and our description says that this features a buoyant acoustic performance from Jerry Garcia and longtime friend John Kahn in the middle of their rare duo tour in 1986. So the double LP on red vinyl, Jerry Garcia Live, Volume 14, listing for about $30. A pair of live Frank Zappas as well due on the 31st. First up is Zappa 80 at the Mud Club. Our description says that during the 1980 Spring-Summer Tour, Frank Zappa played a set at his favorite New York City nightclub, the famous Mud Club. Now this release is a double LP, but it should be noted that both of the records are 45 RPM. So Zappa 80, the Mud Club, listing for about $50. Then we can also look forward to Zappa 1980 Munich, and our description says that the historic 1980 music concert has the distinction of being the first ever live direct-to-digital stereo recording done by Frank Zappa. So the entire show is now featured on 3 180-gram LPs and has been mastered by Bernie Grundman back in 2022. The package features photography and memoirs, along with liner notes. So the triple LP Zappa 1980 in Munich, listing very heavy, coming in though at $60. But again, that is a triple LP on black vinyl. Speaking of triple LPs, here is one from The Who with an orchestra live at Wembley. This particular performance is from 2019, when The Who headlined a sellout show at the world-famous Wembley Stadium in London for the first time in 40 years. So this triple LP set pressed on 180-gram black vinyl features a booklet along with unseen photos from the show. This one coming in also at $60. Let's go punk for the next live offering. This is Live at the House of Blues by the Circle Jerks. This one coming from Kung Fu Records, and it's on double LP yellow vinyl. Our description says the LA hardcore punk legends Circle Jerks crank out over 25 songs live at the House of Blues in Anaheim, California. This one was recorded back in 2004. So the double LP yellow vinyl Live at the House of Blues by the Circle Jerks, listing for about $40. One box set to pass along for the 31st. This is from The Pretty Things. and it's the complete studio albums 1965 through 2020. It is a 13 LP, 2 10-inch vinyl box set. Our description says that Madfish Records is proud to present for the first time in one set the complete studio album recordings of the band The Pretty Things. All of these albums have been remastered, especially for vinyl, and they include the original artwork recreated throughout. All of this is housed inside of a deluxe slipcase style box. So The Pretty Things complete studio albums 1965 through 2020, 13 LP set along with 2 10-inch records, listing very heavy at around $400. But that is a lot of vinyl from a very cool group that's been around for a long time. On to some soundtracks, tributes, and compilations, where you've got one called Moon Age Daydream, the soundtrack to a Brett Morgan film from David Bowie. Our description says this album companion to the critically acclaimed film by Brett Morgan features unheard versions, live tracks, and mixes created exclusively for the film and on vinyl for the first time. So Moon Age Daydream illuminates the life and genius of David Bowie, one of the most prolific and, of course, influential artists of our time. So Moon Age Daydream, the soundtrack, is a triple LP coming from Rhino and Parlophone, listing for about $50. Next up is one of these various artist tribute albums. It's called Keep Calm and Salute the Queen. It's on red and white vinyl, coming from Cleopatra Records. So on this, you're going to get lots of stellar performances saluting one of the most influential bands of all time, Queen. Artists include Lemmy and Ted Nugent doing Tie Your Mother Down. L.A. Guns is on here, Carmine Appice, Jolynn Turner, Rob Zander, Mickey Thomas, Great White, Dweezil Zappa along with Tommy Shaw, Jack Blade, Glenn Hughes, and Robbie Krieger. So again, a double LP, various artists salute to Queen, red and white vinyl, listing for about $40. Coming from Deadline Music and Cleopatra Records, here is a greatest hits compilation from the band Enough's Enough. Single LP on purple splatter-colored vinyl, this one listing for about $33. I should also mention that this is all original album tracks and not one of those re-recorded things that we hear from time to time. And speaking of reworked albums, here's one called Rewired Existential Reckoning from Pussifer. Our description states, though, that Pussifer Existential Reckoning Rewired is the remix album, Pussifer, the art rock band, of course, featuring Tool frontman Maynard James Keenan, featuring reworked and reimagined versions of songs from 2020's Existential Reckoning. The LP features guest work by members of Nine Inch Nails, Tool, Queens of the Stone Age, and many more. It is a double LP on clear vinyl, listing for about $36. And finally today, one of those reimagined albums that we hear a lot about. This is called Iran, So Far Away by A Flock of Seagulls. This one coming on purple and black splatter vinyl from Cleopatra Records. Now again, these are re-recorded versions, not the originals, of some very classic tunes here. This of course includes the band's signature hit, Iran, So Far Away. So again, the reworked versions of Iran, So Far Away by Flock of Seagulls on purple splatter vinyl, listing for about $33. Now, this whole idea of artists reimagining their earlier works and re-recording them is going to be the topic of discussion on our next podcast, the one we do along with the Vinyl Community's Steve Carlson. So look for that podcast hitting both our YouTube channel and our podcast channel later on Sunday evening. But that will wrap up all of our stuff for the new releases coming for Friday, March 31st, 2023. If you're local and you'd see something you'd like us to try to get a hold of, please contact us here at the store. Not local, not a problem. Just look up our website at radiowastelandrecords.com and you can click through and order from there. Don't forget to look below in the description for a link that you can click to take you to all of the releases directly for this week. So until next time, this has been Jim from Radio Wasteland Records. Thanks a lot for being here.